Hello everyone. I will say again, hello family, DeAI family. Just so good to be back again in Vienna. How many of you were here in about half a year ago? Quite a few. So we're gonna do a bit of update on what we're up to. So myself, Yifan, Philip was here. I was nowhere near good as Philip, but also Cargo was the origin of everything that's great for me in the last 15 years. So I have huge emotional attachment to Cargo. Also huge emotional attachment to DeAI. DeAI has been the origin of everything that's great for me since 2020, especially since the LimaCon. The last one, not this one. I wish I could talk, but yeah. Without DeAI, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing before. So I will obviously go into what we're doing for a little bit, but essentially we also have an arena. We also have our form of competition, slightly different to, of course, Cargo, or of course, DeAI, of course, Aurora, which is very interesting. Of course, Aurora also have a good connection with DeAI. Yeah, so we like extended family. So nice. Okay, so that's me. This time I have my colleague Kay, who's also working as a DeAI in Prague. Our business is not strictly just arena or competition only. We do decentralized AI in a different way, in various forms. So for this presentation, we will go into those topics for you. And please start.
Thank you, Yifan. So I'll cover the general updates of Flock from last year. And thank you so much. So what Flock has been doing, the core stack consists of 3 pillars. The first one is AI Arena, which is like a competition-based AI training platform. And the second one is FL Alliance, which is federated learning system combined with blockchain and tokenomics. And the third one is Moonbase. It adds like an extra reward layer on top of everything for the token holder. So they come together to form like a complete loop of our ecosystem. And from the model training to coordination and eventually to the reward alignment. So AI Arena, this is our pilot product, and also it's like the first product that we launched since the beginning. It follows like a very similar logic to the DeAI and also Cargo, because it's like a competition-based platform. So, but instead of focusing on capturing the financial signals, it's more about the general purpose models with real world implementations. So for this part, I'll leave it to Yifan to elaborate further in the presentation later. So this year we have some new updates because we are introducing 2 of our core products. This one is called Formal. The name is very funny, but it's short for Flock Model Initial Offering Platform. So
live welcome here.
Yes. So this is Formal. Essentially, it's like a model launchpad. So we treat AI models as like real-world assets, and we try to financialize it. So everyone who owns model, they can just launch their models there in the marketplace without permission, and tokens can be issued accordingly. So, so it's like virtual protocol but for AI models. And we actually just released the first edition of this product earlier this week. So if any of you are interested, just feel free to try it out. And then the second part of the product is API platform. So it's more from the consumer and user side. It aggregates the APIs together into one place, and it's kind of like open router, if any of you guys are familiar with that. So we can see on the dashboard that we offer the latest models as well as discounts for the users, especially the high volume users. So and also like very importantly, if you have fine-tuned models, feel free to reach out to us because we can list it like on this platform as well to kind of attract natural traffics directly from the platform.
And just one point, I think all the models successfully launched on Formal can become available on the iPad.
Yes, so they come together as like integrated protocols for us.
So it's kind of naming mechanism for you guys. If you have like a specialized model, let's say for any result, that's something for you to host on Formal, you get the tokenomic, and you can host on Formal API platform, and then you get whoever use it, you get income. Of course, it's on you to promote your usage.
Yes, yes.
Good question. I follow up.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, this one marketplace, payments are dollars or crypto?
Payment, what?
I will support all payments.
Okay.
There is something to do with regulation. So for formal people, I think block is actually possible, payment block. But for retail user and institutional user, I think the main value will be USDC or state India.
Yeah, I used to be able to pay for open router with crypto, but there's some European law blocking it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we have to be careful there, and also subject to regional difference.
Yes.
Also, is it okay to ask about the marketplace? Can you explain in more details what's the difference between your marketplace and open routes, where you already started to explain it, but can you say in more details?
Yeah, so from the UI UX side, you'll feel the completely like similar interface, but we are not neutral in the sense that we offer discounts to, we were like partner with the API providers to offer discounts, whereas like Open Router stays neutral with the
Okay,
payment.
good.
Yes.
So particularly good relationship with Kimi, with good relationship with Q1, Gemini, but also potentially ZAI. If those of you who are familiar with those sort of open source Chinese model, we have really good relationship with those guys.
Yes, and if you have like a very high volume, we can even negotiate it like case by case for discount. Yes.
So those are you guys, especially at the company who have influence demand, please come to us.
Yes. So that's it about our products. If there's like no immediate like questions, we'll just move on. So this year, we are also like branching out to the corporates. We try to be like a enterprise level like solution providers, and we now offers like tailored consultings and end-to-end like software development to the companies that are going through AI transformations. So we are specifically covering sectors like finance, healthcare, retail, and governance, and so on. And a major component of our solution is federated learning. So and it's targeting the clients with very specific data privacy requirements for the AI usage. So the mechanism works like this. We train the models locally with the institutions, and then we aggregate the parameters together into like a meta model. So in this way, the data never leaves the institution, and they cannot be shared like together in the training. But we form the like collective intelligence in the end. So it's especially preferred by the like hospitals or like highly regulated like data sectors, and it's our top priorities right now. And we can see This is like a snapshot of our dashboard. The training nodes are coming from all over the world, and also we add another layer of blockchain and tokenomics onto the standard federated learning system. So we introduce roles like proposers, validators, to optimize the network efficiency by allocating the resources across the participants. So yeah, and I also want to touch upon our partnership, because we really focus on real-world implementations. So we became the AI strategic partners with UNDP last year, and together we are hosting a long-term accelerator that is impact-driven, and also we incubate projects from and for the emerging markets to leverage the technology of AI and blockchain to empower the people we need. And because we saw the next session is about open cloud, we also want to touch upon this as well, because earlier this month, we just sponsored a UK AI Agent Hackathon. We also invited Peter to be on set with us in London, and we know that Peter is from here, Austria. So during this hackathon, we introduced a plugin that allows Flock to be the model provider of open cloud, and very interesting projects coming out of the hackathon. For example, Cloud Bio, which is like a bioinformatics agent that allow people to manage their medicine intakes better, and also like NourishNet, which is like a food rescue project, and it allows agents to allocate the surplus food from grocery stores and supermarkets directly to the charity organizations, to the people in need. So that's it about our. Yes.
So a bit more context here. Of course, the theme of this hackathon was AI agent for good. Of course, this was inspired by our partnership with the UN. We are also actively with the UN. For the moment, they are very, very interested to see how agent can be applied in humanitarian situation. So this is actually not for profit for us. It's more a case of supporting the UN to do good with AI. And so everything we see, I mean, I can share the Dora Hack submission page. We have like 48 submission, and I can share that link with you guys. You can have a look what we will do with it.
Yeah, so that's it about the general updates, and I'll pass to Yifan for the deep dive in arena.
I wouldn't call it a deep dive, but since, wow. So, like all the other good competition, you will have a ranking table. It's like here. Yes. Not the front. Okay. You have like ranking table, like all good competition. Of course, you have trainer, like you guys. And you have the validator. I think the big thing here is the validator compared to places like Potenza, we are a lot more decentralized. Essentially, we have something like, I don't know, 50 to 70 validators alive on our competition. So Potenza, typically we're talking about 4 to 5 running validator. Yeah, so in terms of decentralization, it's very different. We also use a little bit of federated learning mechanism. We can go into federated learning off the topic because I think it's another form of decentralized learning, but it's less relevant to sort of competitive landscape. Yeah, I feel in itself, indeed. But although there are very, very interesting exchange in terms of, for instance, how can we integrate TAPFM or integrate learning. For me, that's something really, really interesting for me. But validator itself in here is using a little bit of federated learning mechanism to score, to rank, also to reach consensus. The validator, you will see that in one of the development we have is in the latest task we're actively using LLM as a judge, as a competition type. So the validator actually calling the Frog API platform. Apologies for all the glitches for those of you who are running validator node. But yeah, it's actually calling the Frog API platform to run specific model to judge the model submission. In terms of the, I'm going to go to the next page. So in terms of the different type of tasks, we mostly were doing like large language model fine-tuning on the smaller size of the model variant, up until task 18, which is sort of a tabular data set based on IL training. The winner of that task was Rob, who was here last time. He's not here today. Yeah, so again from the DeAI family, very, very nice. And then the last two tasks, we sort of like running them as a, I call it a test task, but it's a task to allow us to try out different task type, and also to allow us to update the validator repo to one that allow us to extend into future task type, and as well as integration with the Frog API platform, as well as kind of understand how people use it, because things like model dependency become an issue once you go through once you move with the latest model. So again, Joe talked about that. So this is last year. So and this is this year. So 6 months ago, I think the biggest difference here is actually the delegator. API has moved down because we actually changed. One of the big things we have changed was the tokenomic. Previously, the delegator were getting a little bit more from the validator. So we have a delegation mechanism where people can delegate their token to some trainer and to some validator, and then basically you do nothing. You will earn some token because you're delegating. Previously, we would share a little bit more for the delegator. Please.
Just when did you do this change?
When did we do this change?
Yeah, I'm curious because I know it's
Was like November, December. Yeah. I think we were pretty vocal on the Discord. Yeah. I think it wasn't fair before because we were in a situation where the validator, if they open up their share ratio, they actually get less by being open to delegation. It was one of the big problems for us. So, but for us, the difficulty really is whenever you make change on tokenomic, it can take 2 weeks to do the code, but it takes like a month or 2 to do the what do you call it, audit? Yeah, to do the audit. So any change in tokenomic for us is a big lag, and potentially we will have a further change of the tokenomic going forward with regarding to formal. Yeah. So this is the big change I would say. One thing I would shout out is for trainers, established trainer on DeAI, on Kaggle, on any other platform, please reach out to me. Well, I'll come back to this, but please reach out to me. We have our own form of whitelist for trainer. We will basically sponsor you to participate on our platform, and we will share the revenue with you. So we have one big trainer here. At least I know. Roberto, again, DeAI family. So just keep coming back to the family. So, the code training examples here for trainer, at least for large language model fine-tuning task. I think LLM judge is for the trainer is the same kind of task. The main difference is on the validator side. And this is the new validator repo. subject to change, but as you see, it's starting to allow you to go into different tasks. So the main technical structure of the arena are going to be stable this year. We are going to focus on having new type of tasks, have more interesting tasks, and have more meaningful tasks. So it's going to be the content we're going to focus on as far as arena is concerned. But on the border side of the business, it's heavy focus on technical development, like the Frog API platform, like the federated learning side of solution. In there are people who like the token, and there are people who don't like the token but like the blockchain, and the people who do not like the blockchain and do not like the token. So all the different things. And also we have situation where you go into an environment you don't have learning. How do you do federated learning without learning? And we actually have solution for that. Again, kind of beyond what we discussed here, so we just move into it. And again, we have another wave of UN collaboration coming, and this year we'll be more focused on. Last year was like blockchain X AI. This year for us will be much more focused on AI. So again, AI use cases from different parts of the world. I think very likely to have some use cases for traditional tabular data set, but I think things like that here really would like to look into. And then also things like OpenClaw. Why you should join is just open AI for good. So, and then please have a look at us in terms of joining as an active trainer, especially with our wireless feature, our e-trainer program. Wireless data, I would say for now, compared to last year, it's like all the other crypto-driven decentralized AI project. You get in early, it's the more beneficial. I think for wireless data now, it's more suitable for institutional level player. So I will be honest about that. And so more token in the pool, more weight for the bigger player. So it's especially also with introduction of the integration with the Frog API platform. I think the cost on the validator is now increased. So I do not recommend small player to join or medium player to join. But you can still do delegation. Essentially no operating overhead. So compared to remote, you don't burn your token. It hurt, but it was nice. So it's easy setup, and of course overlapping with the Limerai and decentralized AI community. I think that's more for us. Any question? So it's more of an update as well as a general introduction. No?
What we got?
Yeah, from the perspective of like Numerai or Laura, like from the financial perspective, our prediction is there something like a tournament for this kind of?
Not at this
model?
moment. I think we kind of think the sort of like financial life position setup, if you call it that way, it's quite crowded.
I see.
And you really have we all, a lot of us are familiar with Numerai, the kind of setup you need to turn the meta model into alpha.
Right.
Is it like really trading domain knowledge, really hedge fund operation? So for us, I think that's not what we set out for. We are more set out for as an ethical AI player, set out for as these things like federated learning for healthcare, helping people to look at treating disease, leverage AI in a way. So that's more on our focus. We never say never. I do feel that if you want to do sort of like pure crypto / AI project, especially from a small player, as someone who like myself who just want to join a side project, I think trading anything that's alpha-driven, hyper-liquid, prediction market, those are still the place to go.
So from like a healthcare, like what's an example of a healthcare?
So I do recommend you to Google or go on to Google Scholar, search for us. The FL for frog is federated learning on blockchain. Search for us and look for our paper. So typical example is like glucose condition, diabetes type of condition, where you really have hospital cannot share the data, even if it's the same hospital group. Those data literally in physical world. Yeah. So it's about aggregating those models. Please.
Maybe you can help me understand the model marketplace a little better, because my question is, I guess you guys know Higgs field, where you can like get one subscription and you get to try all sorts of different like video generation tools. Is that also how the marketplace works? Like I can try all the different models?
You mean the Frog API platform?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is the idea. Go back.
But they are all built separately, or do I get like one subscription with you and I can access all the models?
The way you work, correct me if I'm wrong. The way you work is you have your login, you just set up your payment, and then you can just call them. It's like you go into OpenAI, you have a subscription setup, you can choose to use whichever OpenAI model. In this case, you can choose whichever model. Yeah.
And I get the API for... Okay.
Once you set up, you actually have the option to set up an API key for a dedicated group of models.
So I just want to add, it's not subscription based, but you top up your account to use all the models.
But you know, the difference for Laura, if you become an elite trainer, you stay task independent.
The way it works, well, okay, we don't really have like a very physical on-chain mechanism to engage in each other. It's like you guys fill out the form, I will pick it up on the other side, and then I have a specific channel for elite trainer, and every time you have a new task, I say, who's going to be? Yeah. That's easy way to manage.
So you have a trainer with one meter of the thing?
Dedication. Yeah.
What's that?
Those are the people who basically I support this trainer or I support this manager, so I stake a token on that node for that task. And then you basically do nothing. You get token. Yeah. Again, like all tokenomic, now it's more than 1 year, more than 15 months. So I think return is going down for the same amount of staking. Yeah, it's just be transparent, like Numerai and the same thing.
What's the impact of the staking? Does it change anything, or is it just?
It doesn't change on your position. I mean, impact of staking, of course, you stake more, you get more before.
Okay. Then I'm questioning, why does it exist? Like, I mean, does it just exist so that people can stake and get money, or does it really?
Why is the same mechanism as Vitessa, similar mechanism to Vitessa? Also, one item. There's one slide from the from last year's that I removed for those of you who really pay attention. Guess what? I removed a slide for our Vitessa subnet. That one is no longer working. So it's just be open and honest because we try different things. Some work and some doesn't work. And for us, the Vitessa community, the setup, the subnet was not the right thing for us. We might try again, never say never, but it was not the right thing for us. And I can talk a lot about it, but off top.
You don't need it. No comment.
We can talk a lot about it.
So, thank you.